Cinema is the art of the moving image. Except when it's not. Few film techniques call attention to themselves more than the freeze frame. And for that reason, it's become a bit of a controversial tool. Nonetheless, the freeze frame persists. Why do filmmakers keep hitting the pause button? This is the ultimate guide to freeze frames. We'll freeze quickly to remind you to subscribe to Studio Binder and enable notifications to stay updated on all our videos. We will be spoiling the following movies and unfreeze.
Wow, I just got a big headache.
A freeze frame is where a motion picture pauses and holds on a single frame. It is also sometimes referred to as a frame hold. In early cinema, the freeze frame was scarce, as filmmakers were still discovering how to make images move. The first modern use of the freeze frame is widely considered to be in Alfred Hitchcock's 1928 film Champagne, where the director used it as a transition between scenes. Like many of Hitchcock's techniques, freeze frames have since become a popular tool in film and TV. So popular, in fact, that it has been endlessly parodied. But the frame hold still has its place in cinema. Let's look at the technique's uses, beginning with bookends. Perhaps the most common use of the freeze frame can be seen at the beginning or end of a film. Typically, a freeze frame at the beginning of a movie is used to start things off with a bang, allowing music to blare and the audience to take in a dramatic image.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you can pricks move, and I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
Opening frame holds are also useful for introducing characters.
I want a big one!
What'd you stop it for?
I want you to take a good look at that face.
Who is it?
George Bailey.
Oh, you mean the kid that had his ears slapped back by the druggist?
That's the kid.
Ah.
In The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, freezes are used to label each primary character with their defining trait.
Such ingratitude after all the times I've saved your life.
In Snatch, freezes on each character are accompanied by their name. In Goodfellas, a freeze frame allows for Henry Hill to describe his goal in a voiceover.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Frame holds at the end of a film, meanwhile, are typically used as punctuation. Arguably, the most famous example of an ending freeze frame is in The Breakfast Club, where Bender's fist in the air is both triumphant and defiant. But ending freeze frames can also be used toward more bittersweet ends. The freezes in Thelma and Louise and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid show characters about to breathe their last breath, but on their own terms.
Let's not get caught. You sure? Yeah.
You didn't see LaFours out there, did you? LaFours? No. Oh, good. For a moment there, I thought we were in trouble.
The freeze frame allows for the films to end on the character's resolve and imply, rather than show, their bloody end. In this way, an ending frame hold can create finality out of a fleeting moment. In The 400 Blows, the final freeze is both open-ended and melancholic. Antoine has his whole life ahead of him, but his future seems far from bright. All of this is present in his frozen facial expression. As director Francois Truffaut shows us, freeze frames can also be used to affect pacing. By their very definition, freeze frames bring sequences to a halt. But there are a variety of reasons a filmmaker may do this.
Ethics are rules of conduct.
Tracy Flick. Tracy Flick.
Films with heavy narrations may use freeze frames so that the narration lines up with the timing of the visuals. This can be seen in The Big Short, where large amounts of exposition are delivered in voiceover.
About 20 times. If the mortgage bonds were the match, and the CDOs were the kerosene-soaked rags, then the synthetic CDO was the atomic bomb with the drunk president holding his finger over the button.
To keep these frames visually dynamic, the film pushes in on Mark's face. A freeze can also create comic timing. In Hot Fuzz, a frame hold allows us to take in Angel's pain and the humor of his reaction.
Achieved the highest arrest record for any officer in the Met, and sustained 3 injuries in the line of duty, most recently in December, when wounded by a man dressed as Father Christmas.
In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, freeze frames are used to make jumps in time more palatable.
Who are you?
And give space for the voiceover.
All right, people, let's do this one last time.
They also add to the comic panel feel of the film. In Funny Games, Michael Haneke uses frame holds diegetically. His character presses a button on the remote, causing the frame to pause. This use of a freeze emphasizes the metatextual nature of the film.
I mean, what do you think? You think they stand a chance? You're on their side, aren't you? Who are you betting on,
But, wait.
Persona also uses a meta freeze frame, where the film stops and breaks. This meta kind of frame hold is also often used in conjunction with fourth wall breaking narration, as can be seen in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And that's how she got to the same party as me. Oh, I skipped something. Damn it, this whole robot bit. I made a big deal, and then I totally forgot. This is bad narrating. Like my dad telling a joke. Oh, wait, back up. I forgot to tell you, the cowboy rode a blue horse. Anyway, I don't know if you want to see it now, but here's the robot stuff for your viewing pleasure. Can I say more?
Now, back to Protocop, starring Jeff Neal.
Above all, freeze frames are used for emphasis. When a filmmaker decides to stop on a specific frame, that frame is given an outsized importance. As such, it is crucial to choose these frames wisely, ensuring that holding on a frame will indeed give the audience additional information. Often, a filmmaker will hold on a frame to emphasize a character's facial expression.
I just want to say one thing to my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian! I did it!
In Rocky II, a freeze frame lets us examine Rocky's face after an epic fight. He is bruised and battered, but he is also relieved, having expressed his love to Adrian. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford pushes into a frame to highlight Ford's expression.
Hello, Bob.
The shotgun would ignite, and Ella May would scream. But Robert Ford would only lay on the floor and look at the ceiling, the light going out of his eyes, before he could find the right words.
He is conflicted, but resolute. In The Wolf of Wall Street, 2 freeze frames are used in succession, highlighting the hateful debauchery of the office space. and most importantly, the man leading it.
My name is Jordan Belfort. Not him. Me. That's right.
Scorsese and editor Thelma Schoonmaker also employ a frame hold at the beginning of The King of Comedy. But is this a random pause, or is there something meaningful here? The camera flash and outstretched hands reaching for their idol. You could say that this one image encapsulates the core idea of the film: celebrity and obsession. The opening credits roll on this frame for 2.5 minutes, prepping the audience for what the rest of the movie is all about.
Like no one's loved you.
In Fight Club, a freeze frame is used to emphasize a story clue.
Oh, God, no, please, no!
During the frame hold, the narrator hints at the film's twist.
For some reason, I thought of my first fight with Tyler.
No! No!
As Fight Club shows us, freezes can also emphasize violence. In Death Proof, each punch is made more brutal with a freeze frame.
As reported in the Reno Gazette, June of 1983.
In the opening sequence of Magnolia, freeze frames are used several times. This is largely to keep in time with the narration, but also to call attention to certain details. While describing an especially complicated death, Paul Thomas Anderson holds on a frame to draw on it, laying out the exact mechanisms of the man's demise.
Sidney Barringer jumps from the 9th floor rooftop. His parents argue 3 stories below. Her accidental shotgun blast hits Sidney in the stomach as he passes the arguing 6th floor window. He is killed instantly, but continues to fall, only to find, 5 stories below, a safety net installed 3 days prior for a set of window washers that would have broken his fall and saved his life, if not for the hole in his stomach.
Freeze frames can offer a pause in an otherwise chaotic moment, allowing an audience to take in what they otherwise might have missed. We can make fun of freeze frames all day long, but great frame holds can serve to elevate a movie, leaving us with unforgettable images. So don't write off the technique the next time you're in the editing room. If you have a great idea for a freeze frame for your project, use Studio Binder to write it into the script and highlight it in your storyboard. Goodbye for now. Time for our ending freeze.
Your heart will freeze.
Freeze?
Freeze where? Freeze the city. Freeze.
Or freeze?
Freeze. Freeze. Freeze.
Freeze, freeze.
A freeze is coming.